Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss the CRUD operation in .NET Core. In this session, I will walk you through step by step how to create a .NET project, how to configure the Swagger, how to have the entity framework work, and how the SQL Server can be connected with it. And then we are going to create a controller, and from the controller, I will walk you through how the CRUD operations are being done. Let's get started with a new project. So I'm going to create a new project, and that project should be .NET Core project. So I'm just filtering it out. So once that has been selected, we need to give some name. So I will keep all those settings as is. I'm not going to change anything from here. And as far as the version is concerned, we are going to use the 8, and the rest of the things would be there. So on the right hand side, you can see a default project has been created in which we have some folder structure, a controller, predefined controller is available, program file, app settings. These type of stuff's already been created. So once we go inside the controller, so that is the default controller which already available over here. So let's get started. So I'm just giving you some detail about the program file.cs. This is the default things which are available here. We have services and the other stuff available. So we are going to change everything, not the everything, but we will change something from here. So let's build it so that we can see that what default project has. So let it run. Just wait. Okay, so the project is running, and as you can see, the controller is being displayed over there with all those JSON. But that is not the ultimate goal. Is we are going to change something. First of all, definitely we need to add the Swagger over here. So I right click on the project. I'm just searching a Swagger over here. Let's do it. Okay, so once the Swagger will be searched from there, it has three NuGet package which we need to deploy. Swagger itself, and then the Swagger gen and the Swagger UI. So I'm going to install them one by one. So the first is installed. You can see it is saying finished. Let me install the second one and apply, and that is also done. On the third part, let it install, apply it, and all the Swagger related things has been nuggets has been deployed. So three or has been deployed. So what we will do is next, I will show you that these nuggets are available here. So all the packages are installed. Now what we are going to do is we are going to change something in program.cs file, because what we have to do is we need to add this service for the Swagger here, and after the Swagger, definitely we need to apply it in the pipeline as well. So let's add the service first. Okay, so what we are going to do, definitely we will provide some comments, and after those comments, we will write the builder.service and the add like this. So because I have already installed some extensions which are already giving me the IntelliSense, so that is why you are getting these type of stuff automatically. So as far as the gen is concerned, we can leave it default, but for the sake of this project, I'm going to change it some a little bit so that it should give us some more details. So as you can see, we have given the name of that API. Let it come again. So we are going to give the API name as well as the title. So rest of the things you can see. Let me put them. Okay, so we can write any name, whatever we wanted, any version we wanted. As you can see, the title is my API, so I will keep that as is. Version we can change accordingly. So as far as the services are concerned, that part has been completed, but it would not work. So what we have to do is we need to add all those pipelines for Swagger as well in order to work with the Swagger. So I'm going to go after the cap. So I will add the environment first because that Swagger should only work on the dev environment. It should not run on the production. So that's why I put a detail that it should be the development environment, and then we have added the Gen UI. So let me build it. Okay, so it's building. Just wait for a couple of more seconds. So as you can see, we still not able to see the Swagger over there, but what we can do is we can do some more tweakings over there because in our project we have app launcher that is under the properties. Here we have defined the launch URL. So what we have to do is we need to remove all those URLs because it should not directly go to that URL which was available or which was written in the launcher. So let's build it again and see what happened. Okay, so still it's not targeting, but what we can do is we can write the Swagger and Swagger going to be open, but that is not the ultimate goal is. We have to have Swagger to be open once we run this project. So for that we need to write something before the controller, I would say. We need to provide the map over there. So what I'm going to do is we are going to use the Swagger get map, and in that map we will provide the default URL so that whenever the project would be running on slash, I would say it should go to the Swagger. So that is what I'm just putting over there. So app dot get map, we have to provide what the first part is according to the slash, what other URL should be redirected. So once there would be a slash, mean no URL will be provided, it will directly move to the Swagger. So that's what we have done so far with respect to Swagger. So I'm just putting some comments over there so that you should know after doing all those stuff that why we added all those things over there. So once we'll run, you will see the Swagger would be the default URL. Now we don't need to do anything. It's directly moving to the Swagger. Now the Swagger has been added. Our next goal would be to add the entity framework. So I will search Microsoft Entity Framework core. So once we will run it, we will see that Microsoft has provided us the entity framework core over there, but we are not going to use the version 10 because we are targeting 8. So it should be the last 8 version. So I'm going to select it. So the code should be installed over there, and after the code, if it is finished successfully, then we will move to the SQL server. So little bit down, you can see the little bit down, we see the SQL server over there. Also, the version should be the same. We are going to target the same version we selected previously. So 8123 is the version. And once it is succeeded, then one more nugget we need to install for core. So I'm going to scroll down a bit and you can see the tool over there. The same version should be installed over there as well. That's it. Done. Okay. So once those parts have those parts has been installed, and we can see that all three NuGet packages which are needed for entity framework they has been available. So the next step would be we are going to connect them entity framework with the database. For that, we need to create a class that would be a DbContext class. So we're going to name it app DbContext. So once that has been completed, we need to have that be initiated. It should be the child of DbContext, I would say. So once that is done, some more properties we need to write over there. We need to provide some options over there so that it should work accordingly. So these are the default things which we need to provide. There should be option, a base option should be inherited over there as far as the DB contact class is concerned, that has been completed, but I have put some sample over there because we need to add all those DB sets over there. So I'm just commenting it out just for the sake of this DB context. We will come back to it again once that the next step would be completed. So once our DB context has been completed, definitely we need to register it. So after the add controller, what I'm going to do is I'm going to register the DB context, because everything which we are doing is that need to be registered in program.css so that it should be available everywhere. So builder.services.add our scope, what would be the add DB context that we are going to add, and here we need to provide the name of our class which we already created over here. So let me finish it. And in the option, definitely we need to provide that it should be connected with the SQL server. So let me put the connection string over there as well. So option dot SQL server would be the last option. Use the SQL server, and for SQL server, definitely we need to provide the connection string over here. Let me finish it. So builder or configuration, because it is picking from app settings, so we will check that builder or configuration dot get connection string, and the connection string name should be the default connection. That is what I'm just putting over there. So that's it. We have registered our DB context. We have created DB context, and as well as we have registered the DB context over there as well. So this part has been completed. Now our project is connected with the database, but definitely our app node setting doesn't have the default connection string, so that we need to add over there. Now let me first rebuild it. Maybe there might be something which I mixed. So I've just wanted to rebuild it so that it is something missing that we can add over there. So it's built successfully. So it means everything's worked fine. So now we are going to add the connection string in our app dot setting. So I already created the connection string, just pasting it here. Okay, this is the default connection string. And let me remove, okay, one bracket is extra, so I need to close remove it. Okay, so the connection string, as you know, the first part is the server. Server is the name of my computer, I would say. And then we have created the database. I'm just putting the two over there because one I already have done, and the rest of things would be as is, because we are using the window authentication. If we have the other authentication, definitely we have to have the username and the password over there as well. So that was part has been done. Now, the next thing is we need to provide the some model over there, because those database should have the table. So models are the table, I would say. So I'm going to create a employee model over there, and I'm going to provide you some default things in the ID, the first name. Let me change the name as well. Okay, and address should be there as well. So name should be the first name, which I'm going to write over there. I'm just copying it for the second name as well, because I need both the names for that employee. And then the position would be same and the address would be same. So those need to be, nullable, I would say. We can put the institution with string dot empty. Now the error has been not the error, but there was a warning that has been removed. Now we are going back to our DB context again. So it has been done. So let's move to DB context. Now I'm just removing those commented lines over there, and I will put the employee over here, and the name should be employees. And let me put the comment over there as well, because these are the DB sets which we are setting. We can do it with the rest of the table which are needed. Okay, so once done, it means everything which we needed for DB context that has been completed. And now I'm going to run the migration. So I've just right click on the project, and in the terminal, I'm just opening the terminal, let it open. So here we first need to create the migration, as I'm going to do it. EF migrations, and then I'm going to add the migration, which is employee table migration. So once I will run this command, it will create the migration, and I will show you where it shows. So first, let it start building. So it's building, and once it would be successful, it will tell us that it has been succeeded. So let's wait till it completed. So build succeeded, it means there is nothing in our project. As far as the migration is concerned, as you can see, it has created two files. One file, it has all those table detail as well, and the other file is also being created, in which the script would also be there. I mean, there are two files, one script and one with the fields itself. Now the migration has been completed, but it is not yet done with the database. So what we do is we will update the database. So once I will update the database, these migrations will be moved to our database. So it will create a table. So all those models which we are going to create, they are going to create the table in the database. So database we have not yet created, to automatically be created. As you can see, it's saying is done. So it means it also ran successfully. So let's move to the database. So database name is 2. Let's see if it has 2 or not. Okay, so 2 is created. Let's see the table. We have two table over here. One for the migration history. It will has the history of all those migration, and as well as our newly created table was also there with all those fields which we provided in our model. So it means our first part has been completed, DbContext completed, and the model as well as model is also completed, and it's ran successfully the migration as well. So now our next step would be to create the repository, because here what we are going to do is we are going to use the generic repository. Generic repository, why generic? Because definitely we need not to create the repository for all those models. So I'm going to create some folder structure. I have created the repository over there, and then I'm going to use the interfaces folder. So it would have the I generic repository, I would say, interface. And let me create the interface first. So I'm going to give it a name I generic repository. So this interface would have all those, I would say, repositories methods over there which need to be implemented. But as far as the generic is concerned, we need to provide or make it generic. So we can make it generic like this, and then we can give all those methods same which are needed. The default method, I mean, get all, get by ID, add, async, update, or delete. These type of things definitely we need to have available for the CRUD operation to run successfully. So once our repository interface has been completed, then definitely what we have to do is there is one more left, which is get by. Let me put that as well. So get and find both are needed. So I'm just also putting the find async as well, because in find and sync we can also provide the some predicates so that it should find according to the whatever the expression we are providing. So update, add, delete, everything has been completed as far as the interface is concerned. Let me rebuild it so that I can see that whether anything needed to do on that or not. It's taking some time. Uh, Let it run. So once it will be completed, then definitely we will move to the implementation of those interfaces. So I'm just waiting till it rebuild. because it's just restoring some packages as well. So that's why it's taking some time. Really, it doesn't take much, but definitely if it's restoring something, so it has been done. So it is rebuilt successfully. So I'm going to create a one more class that will be the implementation class for the interface we already have created. So that should be the generic repository .cs class. So once that has been completed, we need to have implementation of interface which already created. That should also be a generic one, definitely. So these are the default things which we need to provide it. So first DbContext is needed, and then in that class, we need to provide all those DB sets which are needed, definitely as a generic one. Not all one by one, it should be a generic one. Otherwise, we have to provide all those model here one by one. And then we are creating the constructor of that class. And that constructor, we are just initializing the DB context as well as the DB sets. So here it is a generic, so we don't need to do anything. So let me see what I'm missing here. Let me fix it using the Copilot. So I think I have missed the I generic T over there. Yes, that's what it says. So let me see. Yeah. Okay. So now our error has been completed, but it's saying that we need to implement the interface over there. So I'm just going to implement the interface one by one. So the first thing first is just as I mentioned, I have the Copilot available with me as well as I have some more tools. So all those, I would say, the intelligence is providing me. So according to the interfaces, it's giving me all those implementation. Get all async, get by ID async, add async. So you can check from there as well that how I'm adding it. So all those interfaces method need to be implemented over here. Otherwise, definitely it will not fix it. So let me see that all those interfaces methods have been implemented or not. It still says need to be fixed. Let me fix it again. What else I have missed over there? Oh, I think I missed the T over there. Okay. Now our implementation has been completed. So as far as the repository is concerned, our all those methods have been provided over here generically. I mean, I also put the as node tracking that is for the performance purpose, I will say. So once that is done, so it means our repository is also intact. So I'm just going to build it again. Let's see what happens. So everything looks fine up to this point, but our repositories has not yet been registered, so they will not work in our controllers, which we are going to create next. So I'm going to register the repositories here as well. So as you can see, the same method is we are going to add the service, and that service should be scoped. And from here, we need to provide the type of. First, our interface would be available, would be need to be provided here. And once that is done, the next portion would be the implementation class. So let's see type of, and then the generic repository class should be available here as well. So once that is done, then our repositories are also being uh, Now our next goal is we need to create a controller over there for employee so that whatever we have done, all those part can be combined together as far as the CRUD is concerned. So I'm just going to give the name employee controller, and I'm reviewing this endpoint over here. And as far as this controller to be work as a controller, what we have to do is we need to provide some decoration. The API controller should be there, and as well as the route should be there. That the API slash controller should be there. So that is what the default things we have provided over there. And in order to implement all those CRUD operations, what we have to do is we need to have the repository available here, and that repository definitely need to be initialized in the constructor. So both the things has been completed. We need to provide the using over there, so that it should target to the model, and then the rest of the things which we need to provide over there. So we need to provide the get, put, delete, all those stuff should be there. So get should be twice because we need to have get by ID and get all. So these type of stuff. Let me put some detail over there as well. I have already created all those endpoints. I'm just for the sake of information, I'm just putting there, and after some time, I will copy paste all those endpoints already created so that you should know that how these endpoints are being created. So let me remove add some I would say spacing as well as there was some comments needed. So as you can see for the post, these are the default endpoints which Copilot automatically being created, but those are not the same thing which I needed. So I'm just going to replace it with whatever I have done so far. I have created all those endpoints with me, and once those will be replaced, I will show you that how they would work. So I have replaced them. Here we have the default thing get employee. All those employee would be there, and get by ID. We need to provide the ID over there as a int, and then the post method create. We are checking the model should be validated, and if not, then it will give the error. And the update should also be do the same. If not available, then we need to provide the detail, and then the mapping of the field should be there already created. They're just putting over there so that you should know. And for the delete, we also need the ID over there. So all those endpoints are now being configured with the repository. Now let's run it so that we can see the result. So that is the ultimate goal which we have achieved so far. So as you can see, the employee, all those endpoints are available. Get all would be there. Then the post for creating, get by ID, then put for the updation, and delete for the deletion. So I'm just putting a get. There is nothing in the database, so definitely it will return a blank. There should not be any record. So I'm just going to create a first record over there. I'm just putting some detail over there. As far as the creation is concerned, we don't need to put the ID over there. So it is default over there. You don't no need to change anything over there. As far as the ID is concerned, the rest of the things I'm just putting some detail over there, and then I will put I will send it. So once executed, you will get the result that it is being created, and the created ID would be generated over there. Now, once I will run it again to get all those employees, the first employee would be listed over there as well. Now, let me see with get by ID. I will provide the one as a ID. I will put the execution. I will get the result over there as well. So now I'm going to create one more record so that you should know that how the with ID it's working. So I'm just putting some detail over there for the next employee to be created. First name, the last name, the position, and then the address. And now I'm going to execute it. So once executed, you will see ID number 2 has been created. Now we will search the ID 2. Definitely, it will give us the second record, not the first record. So these three endpoints are working fine. As far as the put is concerned, what we have to do is we need to provide the ID. but in the update we also need to provide ID over there as well. So that is what we need to provide, because it is accepting the whole object as well as the ID. So I'm just putting ID over there in our ID column as well as in our JSON as well. So both should be there. And once that is done, we will execute it. The data has been changed. Now, once we will get it by ID, so you will see the updated record over there. As you can see, it has been updated over there as well. And the last thing is we need to check the deletion part. Let me see if it works or not. So it has been deleted. Let's see the total number of records. So now only ID number 2 record has been there. The rest of the thing are removed. And once we run the with one, it will say that the one ID